Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 16th of March 2024. Let's start with our session. The first question is, recently where was the India's first Future Lab Center inaugurated? So, Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar has recently inaugurated India's first Future Lab Center at CDAC Thiruvananthapuram. What is CDAC? Full form is the Center for Development of Advanced Computing. Okay, so it focuses on semiconductor, chip and strategic electronics. Also, it aims to foster the chip design, manufacturing and research. So that's why they have collaborated with the Ministry of Railways for electric locomotive technology development, and also they have signed a memorandum of understanding with Tata Power for microgrid tech. Okay, not only this, the electric vehicle wireless charger technology that is developed by CDAC and VNIT Nagpur will be transferred to Bellrise Industries Limited, and over 100 students were briefed on opportunities provided by the center. Okay, here correct answer is CDAC Thiruvananthapuram. India's very first Future Labs Center has been inaugurated at CDAC Thiruvananthapuram. Fine. Now these days blue line term is in news. If you'd have heard about it, basically it serves as the boundary between which two countries? Answer is Lebanon and Israel. Okay, you do not need to go into much detail. Only thing you have to remember is blue line term is a boundary between Lebanon and Israel. Next question is, recently which university conferred President Murmu with the honorary degree of Doctor of Civil Law? Here correct answer is University of Mauritius, that is B option. They have awarded an honorary doctorate in civil law to Indian President Draupadi Murmu, and she emphasized the pivotal role of education in shaping the future, which highlights India's commitment to the youth empowerment and the transformative impact of education, right? Also, she praised Mauritius as a valued partner in education and in regional cooperation, with hundreds of Mauritian students benefiting from Indian programs annually. Okay, so University of Mauritius has conferred our President Draupadi Murmu with the honorary degree of Doctor of Civil Law. Now these days Keng Krachan National Park is in news. It is Keng Krachan National Park. You can be asked that this national park lies in which country? Your answer would be Thailand. Okay, why it came into news? Because researchers have discovered a new scorpion species which have 8 eyes and 8 legs. That's why it came into news. Fine. So this national park lies in Thailand. Next is, Prime Minister of India recently laid the foundation stone of Petronet LNG's petrochemicals complex at which particular place? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Petronet LNG's petrochemicals complex in Dahej in the state of Gujarat, which cost over 20,000 crore rupees. And this complex aims to boost the national hydrogen production and polypropylene demand, which ensures a brighter future for India's youth. Also, 50 Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendras were dedicated to the nation from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and this complex features ethane and propane handling facilities which are valued at 20,600 crore rupees. Okay, so Prime Minister of India has recently laid the foundation stone of Petronet LNG's petrochemicals complex at Dahej in the state of Gujarat. Now, as per the CEEW's report, what is it? Council on Energy, Environment and Water report on used water management spotlights, Haryana, Karnataka and Punjab are the leaders in the country in this term. Okay, actually urban water demand rises while groundwater levels dwindle, and the urban local bodies require enhanced treatment and reuse infrastructure. So financial constraints hinder 90% of the urban local bodies, and merely 28% of 72,000 million tons of used water is treated. Okay, so CEEW proposes a municipal used water management index so as to prioritize the treatment and reuse, and basic aim is to address the pressing water crisis. Okay, you can be asked that according to the recently released CEEW's report, which state have been placed on the top position in terms of water management? Your answer would be Haryana, Karnataka and Punjab. Okay. Recently, where was the Bharat Shakti military exercise held? Here, answer would be Pokhran in the state of Rajasthan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the foreign delegates from over 30 nations observed the Bharat Shakti, which is the largest military exercise in India's history, and it took place in Pokhran, Rajasthan. This tri-service drill featured the Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, with the Indian Army as the host. Okay. So key commanders from each different force attended, where they showcased India's military prowess on a global stage. Fine. So Bharat Shakti military exercise took place at Pokhran, Rajasthan. Next is, recently which state government has announced a massive transfer of funds under the Krishak Unnati Yojana? Here answer is Chhattisgarh state. Who is the current Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh? This is Vishnu Dev. He announced significant funds transfer under the Krishak Unnati Yojana in Balod so as to support the farmers. And this scheme offers 3100 rupees per quintal for paddy procurement, and over 145 lakh metric tons of paddy were procured from 24 lakh farmers during the Kharif season, benefiting from the minimum support price and additional 917 rupees per quintal under the scheme. Fine. So Chhattisgarh has recently announced a massive transfer of funds under the Krishak Unnati Yojana. Next question is extremely important because the reports of CIPRI are usually asked in your examination. According to the CIPRI report, which country ranked as the world's leading arms importer from 2019 to 2023? So as per the CIPRI, India leads the global arms imports with a 4.7% growth from 2014-18 up to 2019 to 23. Okay. So Russia remains India's primary arms supplier, but its share fell below 50% for the first time since 1960 to 64, and India sourced 36% of its arm imports from Russia. Okay. US supplied 55% of Europe's weapons, while Japan import rose by 155% and South Korea's imports rose by 6.5%. Okay. Talking about China, China's import decreased by total 44%. Okay. So overall, as per the CIPRI report, India ranked as the world's leading arms importer from 2019 to 2023. What is the full form of CIPRI? It is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, right? Next question is, recently India signed an agreement with which country in the field of food security? So Union Cabinet approved an agreement between India and Bhutan in terms of food security, and the pact involves cooperation between the Bhutan's Ministry of Health and India's Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Okay. So Bhutan will issue the health certificates for Indian exporters, which would simplify the trade and it would lower the compliance cost as well. So this agreement enhances the bilateral trade facilitation and it underscores the commitment to mutual prosperity between the two neighboring nations, right? So India signed this agreement along with Bhutan in the field of food security. Also, India signed a protocol for the establishment of Joint Economic and Trade Committee, which is known as JETCO, with the Dominican Republic at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Santo Domingo. Okay. So India's ambassador to the Dominican Republic, who is it? Roberto Alvarez. He signed the agreement, and India along with Dominican Republic don't currently have a bilateral institutional mechanism for trade and commerce. So India primarily imports gold from the Dominican Republic and exports different things like pharmaceuticals, marine products, motor vehicles and 2- and 3-wheelers to them. Okay. You can be asked that India has recently signed the protocol for the establishment of Joint Economic and Trade Committee with which country? Your answer would be Dominican Republic. Okay. Next is, Fani Yarawa tribe recently seen in the news is mostly found in which Indian state? So this is a forest dwelling tribe. that lives in Karnataka's Western Ghats, and they face challenges securing the livelihood. Despite land rights acquisition under the Forest Right Act, tribes like the Fani Yarava continue grappling with changing livelihoods and alcohol addiction. So in the year 2021, they were aided by the locals, and the Yarava community then secured the land rights under the Forest Right Acts for their 19 households spanning into 135 acres. So Fani Yarava tribe predominantly resides in Karnataka's Western Ghats region. Okay, correct answer is here B option, that is Karnataka. Now these days a wetland is in news named as Perum Bakkam wetland. Okay, and it faced the drought concern these days, and it is in news because here pied avocets bird comes to breed. Okay, they are actually large black and white waders that breed in temperate Europe, Central Asia and the Russian Far East. They are kind of migratory birds that spend the winter in Africa or Southern Asia. Fine. So this wetland lies in the state of Tamil Nadu. Fine. You can be asked that Perum Bakkam wetland recently seen in the news is located in which Indian state? Answer would be Tamil Nadu. Recently, which ministry inaugurated the credit assistance program for Jan Aushadhi Kendras? So Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, who is our Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers, he has initiated a credit assistance program for Jan Aushadhi Kendras, and basic aim is to bolster the network nationwide. So from 80 Kendras in the year 2014, there are now over 11,000 operational units, and an estimated 10 to 12 lakh people visit these Kendras daily. So they have an access to affordable medicine, and the memorandum of understanding between the SIDBI and the PMBI promises the project loan up to 2 lakh rupees at competitive rates, which would benefit the small entrepreneurs, and it would modernize the Kendra networks, right? So recently Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers has inaugurated the credit assistance program for Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Next is, recently Ministry of Earth Sciences inaugurated the first phase of atmospheric research test bed in central India in which Indian state? So Ministry of Earth Sciences has launched the inaugural phase of ARTCI in Madhya Pradesh state, and it aims to advance the weather research for better understanding of monsoon convection and the land atmosphere interactions in the core monsoon zone. So it is spearheaded by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology that lies in Pune, and it is the first test bed facility of its kind. It was established under Ministry of Earth Sciences across scheme. Okay, so it features remote sensing and in situ instruments for continuous observation of various weather parameters. So Ministry of Earth Sciences has inaugurated the first phase of atmospheric research test bed in central India in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Next is, Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary recently seen in the news is located in which Indian state? So it lies in the state of Assam, and why it came into news? Because the Assam cabinet has decided to denotify prime rhino habitat Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary in Guwahati suburbs. So it lies on the Brahmaputra's southern bank, and it hosts the world's densest population of greater one-horned rhinoceros. So as part of the Indian Rhinoceros Vision 2020, 8 rhinos were relocated to the Manas National Park in Assam, and also it is home to diverse wildlife including the wild water buffalo, leopard, and it is designated as an important bird area by the BirdLife International. Fine. Simply you can be asked about the location of Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. It lies in the state of Assam. Fine. Can you tell me how many national parks are there in the Assam? Please write your answer in the comment section. Next is, Bhojchala temple recently seen in the news is located in which Indian state? So it lies in the state of Madhya Pradesh, and why it came into news? Because the Madhya Pradesh High Court has instructed the Archaeological Survey of India to survey this temple cum mosque complex so as to determine its true nature. Actually, Hindus have been conducting the puja on Tuesdays and Muslims offering the namaz on Fridays since April 2003 at this place, and it is situated in Madhya Pradesh, Dhar district. Bhojchala holds historical and religious importance, and it is protected by the Archaeological Survey of India under the Archaeological Sites and Remains Act of 1958. Okay, so that's why Bhojshala temple came into news, and it lies in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Now apart from it, you would have heard about Vajra Sentinel system. What is it? Basically, it is an anti-drone technology that can detect, track and neutralize the drones. So this system was recently in the news because it is related to defense against unmanned aerial threats, and this system was developed by the Big Bang Boom Solutions, and it has secured a contract with the Indian Army and Indian Air Force. So the system uses passive radio frequency sensors so as to identify and track the drones, and Ministry of Defense recently entered into a contract for the Vajra Sentinel system under the IDEX, that is Indian Defense Exhibition Initiative. Fine. You can be asked that Vajra Sentinel system recently seen in the news is related to what? So it is a kind of anti-drone system. Okay. Now last question is, India signed the Intergovernmental Framework Agreement on the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor with which country? So Union Cabinet, which is chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, granted the ex post facto approval to the Intergovernmental Framework Agreement, and it was signed on 13th of February 2024 between which two countries? Between India and UAE. Okay, so it aims to enhance the bilateral relations and strengthen the cooperation in ports, maritime, logistic sector, and it outlines the cooperation areas, joint investment prospect, and it sets the guidelines that are aligned with the respective jurisdictions, which fosters the development of the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. Okay, so here correct answer would be A option, that is UAE. Now I would like to cover one last question here. The FAO means Food and Agriculture Organization's inaugural national report on AMR surveillance in India's fisheries and livestock sector highlights the critical role of antibiotic use in food animal production in driving the antimicrobial resistance. Okay, so low resistance levels were observed to less commonly used antibiotics like chloramphenicol, but significant resistance to macrolides and quinolones was noted as well. So report underscores the necessity for prudent antibiotic usage in aquaculture and livestock production. Simply you can be asked that which organization recently published a first national report on AMR surveillance in India's fisheries livestock sectors for 2019 up to 2022. Your answer would be FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization. Headquarters lies in Rome, Italy. Fine. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. Since it was weekend, that's why we do not have any revision session. From Monday we will continue it as well. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Hatsana signing off.